Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to be collaging this canvas. It's just a plain white canvas that I got in a value pack from Michael's or Joann when they have them on sale. Buy one, get one free or something like that. Really inexpensive. I haven't did anything to it, but I just want to share with you what we're going to be applying. I printed some images off and I'll show you those as the time goes by. We're going to be using this magazine. We may be using some images from this magazine. I've already cut things out of this GQ, which is funny because when I cut things out of this magazine, it was only 2 things, and this is more of a everybody's magazine versus the GQ, which is supposedly a men's magazine. So what I want to do first is I just want to open up this, and I tried to get everything prepped as best as possible considering my time, but my little roommate wouldn't let me cut last night, so here we are today. And I am not going to share who it's for because they will know who it's for once they see it, and I'm not even going to publish this video until after the recipient has received it. So I'm just going to, we will do a little crafting and chatting, but not much. I want to try to find some plain pages in here, maybe this, and just put this down as the background, so I will be back with that complete. Okay, so I just want to say it's very hard cutting out pictures from a newspaper magazine. There's so much negativity going on in this city and state, and especially in this area where I live, that some of the newsprint is just negative, and I don't want that to be on this because this is a celebration, something happy. And again, this is just the background. This is not the focal point, but I did want the background to be pleasing to the eye because I do want you to get lost in the collage in itself. I want it to be so much going on that your eye can't really find one thing to focus on at one time, as our eyes tend to do. I want our the brain to continue to try to search and find things. I'm not sure if you'll be able to hear in the background the rain, but it's raining here again. It's been raining here, I want to say, for the last 5 days straight, maybe even longer. And it's great because a couple of months ago they were saying that we were in a drought, so we need the rain. It's just that I'm not sure about your city, but when it rains, people don't know how to drive. They don't know to slow down. They just continue to try to drive like normal. So now that I have this done, I had some paint brushes that I had gotten in a 10 pack or something, very inexpensive, and then I saw some at the Dollar Tree, and I got myself some and another crafter some because she just needs some junk. Well, I felt that she needed some junk brushes, and I sent them off, but now I can't find the ones that I purchased for myself, which is really crazy. I'm going to be using this Mod Podge water sealant, and I got this from a garage sale when I first moved here. I was like, I know I'm going to need that, and that's why you can see it's all messed up because somehow the lady didn't have the lids sealed properly, and this is what happened to it, and it's sticking pretty good, so it's living up to its name. Also, I'm going to probably put this napkin down first, maybe. This other piece, I've just kind of cut away at this poor little napkin, and I think it's time to go ahead and put it to rest, put these other little pieces on there. The problem that I am going to run into is that I started this project later than I wanted to today because I have to leave the house in about 20 minutes, and that includes waking up my little roommate, getting him situated, and getting on the road. So Nicholas has been fed, so all of you cat lovers, will know that that's why you don't hear him in the background, because he's satisfied now. He doesn't have anything to harass me about. So I told you all that he was a rescue cat. I got him in 2012. So he turned 5 today. Not today. He turned 5 in March. I believe March 5th was his birthday. At least that's what the animal shelter told me. So I'm just going to put these pieces to the side. And you can't see the right corner, but I'm going to put this napkin down first. Only because I need to put it down first. I just feel like I need to do that. And I'm just going to be dipping my brush in and slathering the canvas with glue and going from there. I do love the way Mod Podge, I've only ever used, since I've been crafting for real, Mod Podge. I've only ever used Mod Podge. I did a project a couple of years ago from watching a YouTube video with some comic book pages that I was like, ooh, I want to try that. I'm not sure if I've ever told y'all, I think I have, that I wanted to do mosaic art tiles. And so I wanted to do mosaic art tiles. I've never really done them because what I thought that I was going to do, and I think I've told y'all all this in my head, I can do everything. Like, I think that I'm a super artist, super crafter, super everything. So I was going to go to like the Goodwill or the thrift store and just buy a whole bunch of glass and break it up and piece it together like that. Well, unfortunately, the day that we live in, everyone hypes up so much stuff that Goodwill is turning into a regular store. It's a bit on the expensive side. I remember when I was growing up and we frequented Purple Heart, that's in Houston, Texas, that's no longer there. And if it is, I couldn't find it when I went to go and look around. Purple Heart, Goodwill, and all those other little fire sale places. If you're familiar with Houston, you know, down on Main Street in between the city and going to downtown was a stretch of like thrift stores and discount places that you can go and get a lot of cool things from. So anyway, I had went to a Goodwill and I wanted to buy some plates, some cute plates, and cute plates at the Goodwill cost cute plate money. So needless to say, I didn't do that, and my mom was still here, and she was like my big roommate tells me now, you have so many other things that you want to do. Just pick one thing and see if you're good at it. And again, in my head, I'm good at everything. So picking one thing is not good for me. I want to do so much. I feel like I want to do a whole bunch of different various things. So I need to have an arsenal of things to choose from. I don't want to limit myself on my creativity, because one day I may create that piece that I've always been wanting to create. I don't want to just say, okay, I'm a crocheter. I only crochet, and then, which I will never be a knitter. I don't like knitting. I think it's in my head, it's too complicated. I've tried knitting. I can cast on, and I can what is it, purl, stitch, purl, or knit, what I think it's purl something. Anyway, I can cast on and I can do that. But when I went to the library, because you know sometimes the library has classes like that, which is great, because I think textile designs and things like that, you know, crafting stuff is lost on first world countries, only because we feel like we don't need that. Someone else can make our whatever. Anyway, I went there and I pulled I thought it was an easy pattern. It's just a little grocery bag pattern. You know, I got the yarn, I got the hook, the needles, because crocheting is hooks, knitting is needles. So I got that, and the lady was like, oh yeah, this is the easy pattern. I cast it on forever. When I tell you I cast it on forever, I cast it on forever. All I have is a hook, I mean a needle, 2 needles, with some pinkish yarn, cast it on, nothing else. After that, I gave up. My coworker and I went, and she made her boyfriend at the time a scarf and hat. Like, she got into it. So it was beneficial for somebody, just not me. Anyway, back to Nicholas. So I don't even know how I got on the mosaic. I guess because of me saying I can do anything. Anyway, when I first got him in 2012, he was 4 months. Even though he's a big cat to be 4 months. At that time, he was a big cat. A big kitten, I should say. He looked like he was almost 1. And then one day he went from being a little kitten to a big old cat. So anyway, when I adopted him, he had mites in his ears. So whenever you adopt an animal from the shelter, well, at least in San Antonio, Texas, you can take them to the vet for free to get a checkup to make sure it's nothing going on with them, which is awesome, because I fell in love with the animal hospital that his normal doctor is at, but now we live in Mississippi, so you know, I can't drive him there once a year to get treated for his normal checkup. But it's a doctor here that's just as awesome, and I love them, and they're not super expensive like some places are. PetSmart. Anyway, you can't see anything I'm doing right now, but I promise you I'm working diligently. Working diligently to try to get this done, because I think this is going to be a 2-part video or a 3-part video. But anyway, I'm going to apply all the background images first as best as possible. So when I got Nicholas, they gave me science diet to feed him. And I stuck with that. I didn't go and, like get Friskies, cat food, or any of the things that they advertise on TV. He did have like Friskies or Purina treats, but he, for the most part, had the science diet. Well, he got sick, like very, very sick, because he kept going to the litter box like he was peeing, but he wasn't peeing, and then he started crying. Well, at first, when I took him back to the doctor, they were like, we don't feel anything. They was squeezing his stomach to see if anything was going on in his belly, and nothing was. He didn't show any discomfort at the time. And I was like, okay, because sometimes you can just be a paranoid owner of a pet or a paranoid mom. I don't like to call him my baby. I'm just not one of those cat owners. He's my pet, and that's it. I don't call him like, come here baby, anything like that. I just call him Nicholas, or I call him Fat Belly Kitty, but I don't call him my baby, because even though he's my pet and I would definitely miss his craziness if something would have happened to him, I just never got into calling him my baby. Now my boyfriend calls him his cat son, so that's on him. And hopefully no one will think ill of me because I don't consider my cat to be my child, which is fine if you do. We all have our opinions about stuff, and that's just my opinion. Anyway, I got him, and he was kind of like free range eating. He could do whatever he want. He can jump on the couch. I never limited Edie to anything that he could do in the house when we lived in Texas. Never. But when I took him to PetSmart for a follow-up with the urination frequency, they told me he was fat and I need to stop feeding him so much food, blah blah blah. So at first he was free eater. He could eat as much as he wanted. The dish never went empty. It was always full for him. Never ever went empty. I made sure that he had food. My stepdad was living with me at the time. We always make sure he had plenty of victuals. Well, once he got sick, got admitted to the animal hospital. Can you believe that? My cat got admitted to the animal hospital. I know this has nothing to do with crafting, but I want to tell y'all why he's such a psycho about eating. Anyway, He got admitted to the animal hospital. He had something stuck in his pee-pee. He had a catheter put in. And when I say stuck in, he had stone, something, crystals or something. So they had to sedate him, put him under, give him an IV, put a catheter in his bladder, and let him pass the stone or let him get the stone out, which is just crazy considering how I grew up. When I was growing up, if your animal was sick, they would go outside and eat some grass, and if they didn't get better, you know, we didn't take them to the vet to get put down, anything like that. That's the difference between having money and not having money, I guess. But none of my pets ever really got sick. I never took them to the vet, you know, spayed or neutered or any of that. They just kind of all were healthy animals. And then here comes Nicholas when I have a little bit of dough to make sure that he's taken care of. And the reason, so anyway, back to the food, and I'll tell you the reason why I made sure I got insurance on this little crazy thing. So you know, the vet was like, okay, well, you can't feed him any kind of food except for the urinary SO, I think it's called, urinary SO. So now I get it from Raw Cannon, and a bag of cat food, medicated cat food, I guess it's medicated, I don't really know what's in that stuff, is about $70 for cat food. $70. Let that sink in. So, you know, sometimes he drives me crazy, and I have contemplating getting rid of him, but he, in my opinion, is a special needs cat, and I would never want to put that burden on anyone else. So he is stuck with me, and I'm stuck with him until I perish or he perishes. And even then, my aunt has said that if she outlives me, that she would take him on. And you know, my big roommate calls him his cat son. I don't think, you know, he definitely has a home. But my big roommate's a truck driver. He doesn't like emptying a litter box, so Nicholas will probably end up with my aunt. Anyway, so, you know, he was a free eater. He could come and go as he pleased on his little meal, and now he can't. He has to eat twice a day because they say I can only give him a quarter of a cup of food or something like that, according to the dietary feeding instructions for his, I don't want that to be covered up, for his weight and age or whatever. So I felt really bad for the little thing because he went from being able to come and go as he pleased to being fed twice a day. And I tried to feed him 3 times a day, but it just did not work out. I had bought this cat feeder because I had went out of town. Every year I go to an annual medical conference for my work. Well, since I lived in Mississippi. And the first year I didn't know anybody. I had only been here a couple of weeks, days, literally. So I didn't know anyone to watch the cat. And my big roommate was on the road, and I was pregnant at the time. So I did not have anyone to watch him. So I got a cat feeder. And when I came back, he had knocked the thing over, took out all of the food, and yes, before anyone asked, I had given him plenty of food to eat. But that little thing is such a glutton that he did that. Alright, so now I have some more little random pieces that I'm going to apply on here, and then we'll get down to the meat and potatoes of this. I'm going to put some of these butterflies on here, and I got these butterflies from the Dollar Tree. They come in a lei, but I just cut the lei apart. I always try to go to the Dollar Tree and see, what I can get a lot of for $1. I like them. They look so pretty. You would never think that they were butterflies because they look like flowers on the necklace, and some of them have beads on there. So I just try to use all of it for all of the crafting. I really apologize that you can't really see what I'm doing because I don't know. Let me see. Duh. Right? There we go. That should be better. So I'm just trying to cover up some of the white space. I'm not sure if you are a painter or if you watch paint YouTube artists, but the art sharper, Cinnamon Cooney, she always says that you, even if you have white background, none of your canvas should be white. And even though this is not a painting, this is an art collage, I try to do those things because she's an artist and she knows, you know, for the most part, she knows. She makes beautiful, beautiful artwork, and she teaches on YouTube for free. So I watched her videos, and I still do, but her videos are, you know, a whole entire series, a couple of hours. And now that I have my little roommate, he kind of tells me that we're going to watch cartoons all the time, or he likes to watch cartoons. So when he's watching his little cartoons, that's when I'm actually able to do some crafting. But sometimes, like on Wednesdays and Saturdays, that's not going to work right there. On Wednesdays and Saturdays, we watch Elemental Designs live streams. And then we'll watch a lot of PJ Masks. That's what he likes to watch. So I'm going to put this on. Now this is what some of the things that I really will be applying. So some of the things I've put on here will get covered up because this is what I want to put on here as some of the art. So, and I got this. This is a paper roll that I got from Tuesday Morning. And it's waterproof and it's really cool. Like it kind of feels like vinyl, but not vinyl. I'm not sure. That's the only way I can explain it. So I'm just going in some of the spaces, and I've cut these apart. See, I did do something smart, right? I cut these apart, and now I'm just applying those on. And the good thing about having to go to work now is that I'm going to leave this be. And when I come home, it'll be dry, and then I can apply the next set of paper pieces over it. And then I can give it one good shellac. I'm not going to really use shellac, but one good piece to cover it up. And I'll be able to let that sit and dry, hopefully. Hopefully I can put my little roommate down and not go to sleep myself. Whenever I've made collages in the past, what I've always done, excuse me, I'm not sure why. Well, I know why my voice is tweaking in and out. It's because this weather is so manic right now. Is I've cut every little piece to fit in the nooks and crannies, and that butterfly will not be a part of this. I see it doesn't want to be a part of it, and if the butterfly doesn't want to be a part of it, I'm not going to force the butterfly to be a part of it. Maybe it'll stick once I leave, but I think that little adhesive or whatever is on that piece will not let it stick. And that's fine. So I will probably do these in parts. So this will be part 1. And then I'll just post all of them up at the same time. Because again, this will not be posted today. But I will post it up this month. So this is what we have so far. And the good thing is Nicholas does not usually come over and get on my craft table. But he will sit in my craft chair. Like we've caught him sitting in the chair when we've come home. Earlier than he thought. He's kind of like, yep, I'm sitting in your chair. And I'm going to use this. And it's just the white piece from the butterfly sticker that I showed you in previous videos, and I'm going to apply it down at the bottom, I think, or maybe on the side, because it needs something, I think. Yeah, hopefully it'll stick, because it's kind of what is the word, shiny? It has a plastic feel to it. I don't know if shiny would be a good word, but that's what we're going to go with. It's the back, you know, so the back of the pieces are kind of shiny. And hopefully it sticks. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you all for watching. Happy crafting.